Hey, how you all doing? Thought I'd give you another update. So at the minute I want to work on these steps, on these side steps. I've already got the brackets shot blasted and painted. I've kind of got a long-term plan with the sides, so I want to produce a skirted flatbed, but I'm going to make the flatbed first, I think, and then add to it later. And so the transition from the steps to the flatbed skirt is going to come into it. So these got damaged in transit. This is the driver's side one. It wasn't damaged when I bought it, but shipping people like to use their fork trucks. So I'm just going to straighten it out a little bit, and I'm not really going to address the rust all that much. Sheared off all of the screws underneath, so I'll probably make some. I think what I'll do is make a piece of steel, which like 5mm steel or something like that, or thinner, which goes underneath the whole thing. And then like maybe weld some bolt nuts to it, or just tap the piece of steel. So that'll be sort of captive. And then I'll probably just hit the bottom of this with POR 15, or I might just leave it, to be honest, and just dust over the top with some black, just so that when you step on it and stuff, you get to see the green. Yeah, that's kind of the plan. But I just want to straighten this out a little bit. Just got to figure out how I'm going to do that. A couple of different ways. I like the hydraulic press rather than bashing the crap out of a thing. We'll see. It's not a hydraulic press, is it? It's a jack, but it's a Land Rover jack. A little bit of spring back. It's wavy now. Well, they are literally 1% better than they were before, or this one anyway. Overbent it with the jack. Nice one, Charlie. Newsflash, Rocard is not going to turn itself into a panel beating company. Anyway, I might end up making different steps altogether, but I'm going to go over this with the burnishing tool and clean off the loose rust, make some of those brackets I was on about, and that'll be done. And so for the second time today, I'm using a jack to get the job done. Well, in terms of the steps, that's as far as I'm going to go with cleaning them up. Used my old brush tool. I always think it looks like a toilet brush or some sort of chimney sweeping brush. Anyway, so yeah, just maybe bash that little in. But I'm ready to just get a dusting of paint on this. I'm going to just give it a dusting of matte black. Just give it a good clean with the brake cleaner and then dust some black over it, because I don't really care about the finish of them. They'll sort of have a natural patina to them then. And I think these are so knackered, I think I'm just going to replace them later on. Or have them shot blasted or whatever. But what I'm going to do is get this flat bar. Jack and I have taken the tabs out the bottom. We'll make it so that we'll have a piece of flat bar which can slide into there. And it'll be have the threads on the back. And we'll be able to just tighten them in as a replacement to what we had originally. I might put some POR 15 on the bottom, but I probably won't. So I've got this bar stock, which I think is 2mm by 20, just cold rolled bar stock. I've drilled and tapped the holes, so they will slide up into there. But what I am going to do, I've tapped the holes just so that I can focus. I'll put a bolt in each and then weld a nut to it and give it a little bit more meat. 2mm not enough. I pivoted a little bit, rather than use M8, so I've gone with an Imperial thread, because I've got a bunch of them. But these ones are freaking hot when you welded them on. Yeah, we had them all in the vise, just tacked on there like that. All tacked on there. I'm not going to pick one up and show you because they're freaking hot, but you can see how that will go up inside there and then be a fastener for this. And then later on maybe I'll get some paint on these. So that's how those steel things go in there. They'll hold on real nice. Certainly better than the original piece of work. I was going to leave the rust on the bottom, but I feel like now's the opportunity to get some Pour 15 on the bottom, and I think I'll turn it over and then do some dust some paint over it real quick, make them look good. Well, there's a coat of paint on there. It's called black grey. It's very close to black, but it's not quite black. But that's what I had. My black was jelly, so that was no good. I thought about painting it slate grey like the frame, but that was after I'd already painted it black grey, so really I need to just let it go off. But I think on the sides there, let me know in the comments what you think. Should the steps be black grey, slate grey, or some other colour? Just keep in mind though that this is not done for these steps. I'm kind of hoping that by stepping on them and stuff, they'll like patina in and whatnot. You know, they're not by any means perfect. Not least because I'm not a panel beater, but anyway, I got some POR 15, Pour 15 on the back where the brackets go, and dusted in this colour on top. I only dusted it where the brackets go because I didn't have a lot left in the tin. But yeah, here's what it is. Well, I've just put this one, set it in place. Apparently, I didn't realise this. I was tripping over everything. I didn't realise this, but these brackets are handed. Obviously, you've got front and back. Longer ones at the front, shorter ones at the back. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, it looks right. Anyway, I'm just going by the fact that the step is wider. Oh, I'm rambling. Anyway, I've got them on there, and actually I don't hate black grey. The paint's not even gone off yet, but I don't hate the black grey. So what do you think? I guess I'd have to pull it outside and let you see it in the sun. But there is no sun at the minute, so these are the rubber pieces which go by the steps. And I've got a couple of cracks in them, and they probably would have only cost like $25 each or something like that from LMC. And if I'd known I needed them when I was ordering stuff, wouldn't have been a problem. But the shipping's expensive, so I've been on Amazon and bought this instant adhesive, and I've got some leftover window rubber. Maybe I've got some other bits of rubber as well. Let's see if I can't do some sandwiching and make it work. Well, I decided to do it without any overlaps or anything. It's pretty lively stuff. It's sticking it to the bench real good. I've done a test on this stuff, so I get an idea of when it's gone off. Obviously, that's a much stronger joint type than a butt joint and just sticking pieces on. But this is like I say, it's fairly lively stuff, so I think that'll work out. I meant to say, before I used any of the glue, I used this little sanding drum on the Dremel to clean up the edges. Hopefully it'll work real good. I need to put something under that to stop it from sticking. So I tried really hard, and it's been what, maybe 45 minutes? I've tried really hard and I can't pull these apart. So there's very limited details on here. It's not anything. So I guess seems to have worked fairly well. I mean, it's not like it's a critical part. And maybe I'll get a couple more, but all it is, it just goes up underneath there. So I think I'm going to use the conditioning stuff I've got. Not strengthen conditioning, but rubber conditioner. Because you want nice supple rubber, don't you? Right, so the leather conditioner I've got is liquid molly gummy fledge. That's what I've got. Also from Amazon. Let's see how this goes on, huh? Doesn't work. Maybe you've got to turn it on. There you go. I'm working one-handed here. Good. Well, I've given it a good go over and it looks better than it did before. I'm not going to test these to destruction because, well, then it'd be destructed. What's the point? But yeah, I think they're good enough to put back on. Kind of done all right. Well, that's this side all installed. For one reason or another, it's a bit of a ball ache. But steps on there are all good. Got the driver's side one on as well. Looking quite good. All the rubber's done. Let's see if I can climb underneath here. Oh, you can't see them. There's all stainless steel screws I've installed there. Let's see if you can see them up there. There you go. They look quite nice. Still got some designing to do on this deck. I think I want to try and get some parts in to make a start on that. Soon. Probably be after Easter now though. One thing I like about having a laser cutting machine is that I can just cut a piece of wood really accurately to the exact size I want, then offer it up against my frame, draw some circles, and then I can take some measurements. Ideal. I've just been going through my parts and I found some linkages for the throttle pedal and I thought I'd try it out. Now, let's see now. I feel like it's a little bit biased to the right, but it's not so bad, you know what I mean? I could reconfigure it completely, it wouldn't be that much work, but I feel like I'm going to just leave it as it is. I think maybe that little, I want to change the pedal type to something square and more attractive looking, but I'll put the throttle there. Maybe I'll flip the side, because that thing just unscrews. I won't move it over that much, but a little bit more thinking on that one, I think. So here's the brake pedal. I've measured it and I want it to move across 60mm. So I feel like I feel like if I take that weld and grind it down carefully, I can save this piece and move it along. So I've ground all the weld off. I started grinding the wrong piece. I've ground all the weld off that and it's starting to crack. I've got it in the vise like that. Got one of these high impact sockets because you need that, and I'm whacking it and it's going to work. See, it worked. Just need to clean it up. It's pretty thick wall thickness. I'll probably put some weld in there just to fill that up. Clean this up, offer it up and weld it up again. Well, that's that welded on there, just needs cleaned up, painted. I got this throttle pedal. I just assembled it to see how it works and what have you. Doesn't come with any clamps for the cable itself, so that's real useful. Cost enough. I'm not sure I like it. I'm not sure it fits the theme or not. I think the one that came with it was a sort of a paddle type like this rather than a hang from the top type one, and it was much bigger, but we'll see. I was driving some Volkswagen Caddies, what we've got, and they have them hinged at the bottom like that, and I kind of hate them, but We'll see. Oh, so that's the throttle pedal in place. Wherever it's gonna end up, I don't know. It might start a bit lower. I don't know. Seems like it's a mile away from the brake, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks. It's in place anyway. That's what you get on the engine bay side.
Hello. This man is a bit naughty now.
Why?
Because he doesn't have a seatbelt on when I asked him. Right, it's your turn, Papa. And you must put your seatbelt on this time. I'm sitting in this seat.
What's that?
Is this the right side?
Well, look, it's not far off. That one's a bit too big, so it might be the other end. That end's the right size. It's difficult to get a purchase on that because that's in the way. But you found the right size spanner. So I've been having a little bit of a mess about whilst Scarlett's playing in here. I decided to offer up the radiator. This is the one that came with it, and I'm really not sure if it is an original because I think the GMC ones would have had a neck coming out of here because they've got to cover what goes over here. And I don't know. I really don't know. I did put a post on Facebook a while back to ask, but I'm thinking about having this one Rocard so that it'll work with the V8. I've offered up the water pump, and we've got about 50mm clearance to the radiator, which isn't enough for the fan. I might be able to get a fan without the what do you call it? Without the thermal clutch on the front. But I kind of, yeah. That's all part of it, isn't it? Thought about adapting it, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I can put an electric fan on the. I can put an electric fan on the outside of it, or a slimline one on the inside. I feel like if I'm going to have an electric fan, I don't really want to see it. Anyway, I can use that radiator, which is good. Just checking off things I need to get ready. I need to make it so that the column selector works with my transmission. Been looking up on that recently. But yeah, I'm trying to get everything prepared. So I've built, I've some of these markings you can tell. I've been doing some drawings and designs. Going to get the fuel tank mounted up in here. That fuel tank over there. I'm thinking about putting a battery tray this side on the inside of the rails, so it's tucked up and out of the way. I'm going to press on. I'm looking to get some brake cylinders. Get those installed. Be quite cool. But yeah, I got to the point where I was going to try and start the engine just on like a drip or something like that, or a can of fuel up the front here. But it's got to the point where I might as well just get everything done what needs done. So I start getting things like wiring and brake lines installed. Now that I've got the brake pedal. I am undecided about this throttle pedal. I'm not sure whether I like it or not. I kind of like the original look, but I mean, that wasn't even connected to the truck when I got it, so goodness knows how that would work. But I guess I could just cable tie it to it, maybe. So in the interest of showing you some of the little tricks I've got, I could really do with one of those little profile gauge things, but I don't have one of those. So instead, to get the profile of that part of the tank, I've bent some aluminium welding rod, some filler rod, to the profile around there so it kind of fits. Then I've drawn around it on a piece of paper, and I shall scan that and then convert it to CAD to make it somewhere near. I may cut out a piece of wood with my laser cutter to test it, but I don't think it has to be that accurate. But anyway, I'll show you the CAD drawing. Hopefully that should be on the screen right now. It's just another thing which is done. You sort of spend half an hour or so designing it and drawing it, and then send off, and like a couple of weeks later, you then get it back. Scarlett, give me a thumbs up, darling. Oh, you're doing some good sweeping there.
I hope you enjoyed the channel, everybody. I can't wait to drive the Gamesy.
Hopefully it'll be ready by the time you got a license then, hey?
Yeah.
Wave.
I can hear that sound.
Do you know what that sound is?
That wheels.
The tyres, yeah.